Hi, my name's Richard Glidden. I'm a chiropractor and a triathlete. Now, I couldn't tell you exactly when my dream to run an Ironman began, but I can tell you when it just about ended. And that was in March 2010 on the slopes of Val Thorens in France, as I lay there on the icy slope, staring up at the sun, gasping for breath, unable to breathe. I remember feeling grateful that I could at least just wiggle my toes. You see, it wasn't just moments before that I'd fallen 15 feet onto my backside, compressed my spine in half, and heard an explosion of bones and joints and goodness knows what. And so began a very long recovery for me. You see, I'd fractured 2 spinal vertebrae, left myself in a lot of pain, and over time I was able to rebuild my body. And during that time, if you've ever lost any kind of physical strength or ever been held back by pain, you will have a newfound appreciation for just how amazing the human body is and just how much of a gift it is to be able to do sports and be able to move and just challenge yourself and achieve through physicality. And part of my process of recovery was to immerse myself into triathlons. I'd always had the dream of running a triathlon, and so I began the process of learning them. Now, my first one was a complete disaster. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong on the London Triathlon in 2013. And I won't go into all the details, but almost exhausted myself on the swim, fell off the bike, went into near hypothermic shock, and limped my way around the run. But thank goodness I finished. I learned a lot. And I realized, look, if I'm ever going to stand a chance of running the Ironman, of accomplishing that great dream and that great ambition, I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently. And so I started studying from the experts. I went to the best in the business. I learned from the Phil Maffetones, the Ben Greenfields. I went to sports seminars. And I started applying all of this great information and started to see a little bit of a transformation as I fine-tuned nutrition, as I took the right kind of approach to exercising and training, as I took my rest and recovery really seriously. And it was in 2015 as I looked at how far I'd come, but I also understood, I've still not run the Ironman, and I've watched 2 of my friends go through it and complete it and come out the other end changed. And every day on my bike, I'm seeing guys with the Ironman bag and the stickers on their bikes, and I'm thinking, I wish that was me. I want the prestige of having finished this. I want the sense of personal accomplishment. I want to know that this is something that I've done and have that stand behind me and boost me for the rest of my days. And it hadn't happened yet, and I realized, if not now, when? And so I burned all the excuses. I put it on Facebook. I told the world I am running the Ironman in 2016, and I booked my ticket right there and then, committed. And so began more intense training, but the frustrations then began as well. Not just the self-doubt of, do I have what it takes to get through the pain? Do I have what it takes to last the distance and to manage the suffering that seems to occur for people as they approach this race? But also, will my body hold out? You see, I'd had these niggling injuries right the way through my Olympic triathlons in the earlier years. And I had this doubt, if my body would hold out. And as I started to increase the distance, my fears became true, and I started to injure my calf muscles. I started to blow them out and then have several weeks to recover and get back into it and feel like I was almost there and feel like I was back to my best, and then bam, I would blow them again. I would get off the bike after just an hour of training and be so stiff and achy in my spine that I'd have to lie on the floor and just rest for half an hour to be able to even function for the rest of the day. But the next day I'd always have this stiffness and this soreness and this tightness dragging me down in my back. And so it was a very frustrating time in those early months of Ironman training where I really had the doubts that I'd be able to pull this off. So I had to look at everything and understand where this had gone wrong. I'd got the running coach. My running was really quite improved on what it was. I've got the swim coach. I've mastered the total immersion technique. That, together with the pose running method and the bike fit and the new equipment and the proper nutrition and the aerobic training, the high intensity interval training, the proper rest and recovery, the compression bags on the legs, the hours and hours of foam rolling. I mean, this should be enough, right? This should be enough to get my body to an elite level, but it wasn't. And I realized, I've not been getting my structure fixed. And I'm a chiropractor. Like, this is what we do all day long. We fix bodies, and we've had so many elite athletes go through our procedures and our processes at SpineCentral and come out the other end with improved performance. I realized, look, I need to have on myself what I offer the world. And so I started committing regularly to twice a week corrective care. I started addressing my old injuries, fixing the sites of fracture, working on injuries from the past, the sprained ankles, the functional weaknesses across my hamstrings, and I just started fixing my body and restoring my posture. You know, we spend all this money to get our bikes fitted to our body, to get the right kind of shoes fitted to our feet. We spend all the money with coaches to train us on how to run properly and how to use our bodies properly, but we never get our bodies fitted to the world. We never correct the damage so that our body can actually adjust nicely to a bike, so that our joints can absorb the impact of running and stay upright in a natural, balanced, economic fashion, where we have economy of movement and we're not wasting energy, where our muscles fire up in a coordinated way and we stay balanced and we don't create injuries over time because everything's working as it should. And so as I started to go through this process of structural correction, I had amazing shifts in my running that became smooth and balanced, and I'd get to the end and I wouldn't have tight calves, and I wouldn't blow the muscle out every few weeks, and I wouldn't have to spend hours and hours on foam rollers and feeling bad if I wasn't doing functional rehabilitation and stretching and pushing painful muscles. Like, my breathing improved, my rib cage would move properly, and I got more oxygen in, and that automatically upgraded my aerobic metabolism and ability and potential. I got off the bike feeling loose and pain-free. My recovery's enhanced significantly. And here's the big secret. I realized that when you fix your body, when you fix the actual real machine in this process of running triathlons, the human frame, and when you have that upright and withstanding against gravity and working in a balanced fashion, and you put that together with the exercise science and the lifestyle changes, then you have the ability to really reach your potential in sports. And so in September 2016, as I entered into this Weymouth Ironman race, I still had doubts. I wasn't sure if I could pull this off. I knew that my training had gone very well, but if you've ever been on the start line of an Ironman, you know that there's apprehension in the air. There's fear and trepidation, and there's just anxiety. It's tangible, but people are all wondering, like, what am I getting myself into? And can I complete this? But as soon as the whistle goes, I got in my flow, the swim went brilliantly, the bike went brilliantly. I got halfway around the marathon and I looked at my heart rate monitor on my wrist and I thought, wow, I'm still well within my aerobic threshold here, I can speed up. And my body still felt loose and balanced. I was looking all around and there's athletes dropping everywhere, people falling forward, running on the side, limping, backs blown out, ankles blown out, blisters, you name it. People are just starting to fail all around me, but I'm feeling good, I'm feeling upright, and I can increase my speed and still stay aerobic. And I got to the end of this Ironman race thinking, wow, I obviously didn't push hard enough. And that of course wasn't true. That I'd given it everything, but I still felt like I had more that I could give. And I recovered really quickly. The next day I could walk around fine, I had no injuries. And it was just an incredible experience, and it really taught me a valuable lesson. You see, life is an endurance event. And the reason why we do these amazing experiences and these amazing challenges in life is so that we can grow as a human being, so that we can generate confidence in ourselves and develop personal power and certainty that whatever we face, we can overcome it. And I learned the value and the power that comes from working on the most important asset that you have, and that's your human body and your health. And if you are well balanced, if your posture is upright, if your joints are well aligned, and you live a lifestyle that helps maintain its full integrity and its full magnificence, then you can do incredible things with your life. And you can last the distance, and you can be one of the rare people who experiences all that life has to give. And so my message for you today is very simple. If you're training for endurance events, if you're a runner, if you're a swimmer, if you're a biker, or if you're a triathlete, then if you're not getting your structure fixed, you're really missing a big trick here. It blew my mind, it blew my world apart when I realized how big of an impact it was having on me personally. And I see it every day with the athletes that we work on. This is the unfair advantage. And so if you're looking to get through a plateau, if you're looking to get past a point of injury, if you're looking to maximize your performance and put all your effort into running a triathlon and not have it hampered and destroyed by a last-minute injury, then I'd encourage you to hit the button below, sign up for a session with me, and we will examine your body and see just how well balanced you are and if there's anything that could be improved upon to maximize your chances of having a great experience on your next event. So I'm Richard Glidden. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.